Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, my name is Chanel, the owner of 3 Balls Handmade Soaps and More. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I make rosemary soap. Alright y'all, so as always, I like to show y'all what I am going to be using today. So right here, I have some rosemary that I picked up at my local grocery store, and I actually have 3 of these. And then I also got some, I'm also going to be using this cheesecloth here to strain the infusion. And then I also got 2 mason jars, as well as my bowls over there. If you're new to my channel, I like to measure everything out in separate bowls. If I mess up, it's a lot easier for me to correct. So that's why that's why you're gonna see me use quite a few bowls when measuring out my ingredients. I got my thermometer here, my scale, my soap mold here, stick blender, as well as gloves. My protective eyewear is down here somewhere up under my table, but I do put on that whenever I go outside in my well ventilated area to mix my water and my sodium hydroxide. So I'm gonna clean off my table and then we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, so right here, once I have cleaned up my rosemary, I am just going to start taking the leaves off the stem. And I do that by just grabbing one end and then sliding my finger down the stem. For this soap, I don't think I mentioned it, but for this soap, I will be doing the hot oil infusion method. And I'm not going to go into much detail because I do have another video that talks more about the hot oil infusion method, and I will link that video down below. Also, if you've never made soap before, I will also link a beginner soap making video down below as well. Alright, so now that I have my leaves in the jar, right now I am just adding in my olive oil, and I added about 16 ounces. I try not to do any more than pretty much like what I need and what I can use up like within a week or two. So I try to, me personally, I just mainly stick with like 16 ounces when I do my hot oil infusions. Alright, so here is the olive oil and rosemary combined. Next up, I went over to the stove. I let this get to a simmer, and then I turned my stove off and left the jar sitting in the water. I let it sit there and completely cool down before I removed the jar out of the water. Right here, I'm just going in with this cheesecloth, and we're just going to strain our infusion. So now that we have strained our infusion, I am just going to put the lid on this and set it to the side so that way I can finish weighing out the remainder of my ingredients. And for this recipe, I don't think I mentioned it, but I did replace 100% of my olive oil with this infusion. And as always, you guys, when you're working with sodium hydroxide, please be sure that you are taking the necessary precautions to protect yourself. Alright y'all, so I thought my camera was recording, but this is just the tail end of me weighing out the olive oil for my recipe. And once my oils had cooled down to room temp, I went ahead and added in this olive oil with the remainder of my oils and butters. Right here, I am just adding in my water lye solution, and I'm just going to stick blend this until I reach my desired trace. Y'all, just bear with me with the lighting. It was cloudy out and I had to turn on my light that's in my dining room. I like to film in natural light, but being that it was cloudy when I was trying to make this soap, I had to use my dining room light. So if the lighting looks a little weird, just bear with me. For this soap, I did go in with some rosemary essential oil. I wanted it to be just a plain rosemary soap. So I did, like I said, I went in with some rosemary essential oil. And y'all look at the color. The color looks like almost like a light brownish color. And it's going to be completely different. Well, it was completely different the next day. Alright, so after I was done making sure that my essential oil got blended up well, it was time for me to go ahead and add this soap to my mold. And that rosemary did cause my soap to kind of accelerate a little bit. You can see it right here, how it's starting to come out of my container. And then you will be able to see it again once I take it out of the mold. Alright, so once I got all of my soap into my mold, I then proceeded to literally beat it on my table because again it was starting to thicken up on me, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't have, like, y'all know, you see all the little holes like on the side, so I didn't want that in my soap, so therefore I just was beating it on the table. Right here I'm just going in with my spoon, just doing the same old design, you know, the usual. And I actually like the way that this came out, like the peaks. This right here was really kind of high, and I like that. And here we are. So again, take note of the color because it is going to look completely different. Alright, so it was the next day, and y'all look, that color was literally like night and day. Literally night and day. I hope you can see the color pretty good. It looks like a it's like a light green, like a hint of green in there. I love the color. I love how it looks. Like I said, I like how the peaks in there are on the top of the soap, how that sits up kind of high. I was pleased with it. I'm definitely pleased with this soap, and it smells so good too. Alright, so here we are. We got a full gel, and y'all see those few holes that I got right there on the side? I was trying to minimize that. That's why I kept banging the soap on the table when I first put it in the mold because I wanted to, again, minimize those little holes that you see right there on the side. But other than that, again, I got a full gel, so I'm very pleased with that. And right now I'm just getting ready to cut my soap. And if you are wondering why I turned my soap on its side, it is because I do have these, the top is very tall, so therefore I don't want to smash the top when I cut it. It's a lot easier for me just to turn it on its side. And y'all, look at this. Look at that color. I love it. I absolutely love this soap. Y'all let me know if y'all see a little hint of green. Let me know if it looks green to you, like a light green. And if you are enjoying this video thus far, if you have not done so already, please consider tapping that like button. It definitely helps our channel, and it will push this video out to more people. And right here I am just prepping my soaps for the grand finale. And I get quite a few people asking me about my soap stamp, so I will have the link to the stamp listed in the description box, as well as the size stamp that I ordered. And y'all, look at this. It's just the simplicity of the soap. I'm in love with it. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. And as always, thank you guys so much for commenting, subscribing, liking, all of that good stuff. We really do appreciate it. We cannot thank you guys enough. And until next time, I will see you guys later.